basically, so if you haven't been around my content chats, I basically take the time. I've started structuring them a little bit more. And these are usually just a time that you can come ask questions. I also like to pick a topic to talk about. And I take notes on it. Like I have this whole thing scripted out. Not scripted, but I've got my talking points that I want to have on here, right? But basically, this is just a time that we can chat content. And even if we're not talking about a certain thing, if we were not talking about a certain topic, feel free to ask any questions that you want to know because we will take the time to answer them. Ooh. What do you think of the Hassan drama? I wanted to be asked this. I did want to be asked this. How hard is it being a streamer as a job? Okay, so what Hassan said, I know was taken out of context, and I think I understand what he meant. However, streaming is a hard job, but it's not hard like in a different way. I feel like this. Streaming is a job, right? Streaming is a job. I didn't like his use of real job because I feel like he's still discrediting it. Streaming is a job. You have to do a lot of things when you take it seriously like I and others do. It's not just I go live and I play video games, right? I take the time to be social. I really interact with my chat. I have a plan when I go into streams. But streaming to me is the fun part. This is the fun part. The content creation side is the work part. So for him saying that it was soul sucking, I just seriously, and him saying that other jobs weren't soul sucking was just a lie. Like it seemed somebody who was very jaded and very out of touch. Especially for somebody in his position. Now look, I don't watch a lot of his streams. I don't watch his content. I know who he is. I just don't watch a lot of big streamers. For somebody like him who can outsource so many aspects of his streaming and his content, I thought it was a little silly. Because look, streaming, if you can make money off of this, it is honestly a much better job than, let's say, working customer service or working as like a barista or engineer. I know, comparing my job to my boyfriend's, who is an engineer, I'm chilling compared to him. And I work a lot, and this is coming from somebody who puts their heart and their soul into this. I put everything into this. Like, this is something that takes up all of my time. This is a big chunk of my day. I would never say it's harder than something else, because it's not. It's just not. I'm very lucky, and look, I don't make a lot of money from this, but I still say it's my job because it's my job. I'm very lucky that I can take the time, one, to make money this way, but also compared to other forms of work, this is easier. It is easier. So there was certain things, it was like, I get what he's saying, because I think streaming for 9 hours, maybe don't stream for 9 hours. I don't know. Like, I really like what Jinxie said. He didn't say this about this, but Jinxie, like, whatever you want to say about him, I really like his approach to streaming, because he's like, I take 4 hours, I have that 4-hour mark, we're done. And he takes the time to do other things, because I think streaming can be, you're being very social, even if it doesn't seem like it is. It's a social thing, so you can be really tired after stream. I understand that. I've been very tired. I wouldn't compare it, I would not say it's soul sucking, because but again, I haven't been doing it for as long as him. This thing makes me very happy. This is something that I just really love. And to me, for me, my personal opinion is that I don't find it that way. I know people who love this, and then they stream for multiple hours and like, God, I'm so tired. And I get it, because it's working. You are working. You're trying to be entertaining. You're trying to be, engaging. You have to actively have that mindset. And I think that's what he meant. And I don't think it came across as the way he wanted it to come across. Because also, too, Twitter took that clip out of context. But I just don't feel like he does like a lot of things where I'm just like, well, you don't have to do that. You don't have to stream for 9 hours. You know what I mean? What do you think about the mindset outside of streaming? People outside of streaming seem to have that streamers should never complain because they have a dream job. I feel like when anyone complains, the world gets so mad at them. I think that's silly, because you can complain about any job. Like I said, I love this. I can complain like, oh my God, I have to do this, whatever, I have to edit. Or talking about the parasocialness, or talking about imposter syndrome. I had somebody comment this actually on a video I posted on Instagram. Like, that's so stupid. How do you have imposter syndrome as a streamer? I'm like, well, we can't say anything, right? Because then it's, oh, all you do is this, this, and this. It really, to me, like, it's like with any job, you can complain about your job and still like it. I think it's because people don't see it as a job fully yet. I mean, like I said, going back to the San thing, he said real job in comparison to this. And I don't like that, because this is a job. Anything that makes you money is a job at the end of the freaking day. You can sit here and argue, it's not a job, it's not a job. If it's making you money, it's a job, Pookie. That's just flat out the definition, right? Do you have any individual incentivized ads on stock on what viewers speaking the most when they're donating? Like for subs, like for sub incentives, I like to do the stickers. I have the Spotify playlist. I know other people, I've seen Mirror TV, if you guys know her, she does like a little drawing every month for her subs. Those are kind of some of the things that I think of. Sub-only channels in your Discord. I think that's a couple of things. I like to keep it like, I like the sub only like channels in my server. I like the stickers, and I like the Spotify playlist because I think those are kind of fun. I feel like streaming is almost hard because you have to force yourself to stream because it's not guaranteed income from any. Exactly. You don't stream, you don't get paid. No, yeah, I get what you mean. Now that streaming is my job, I literally can't skip streams anymore because it feels like taking a sick day from work, and it's like, damn, if I don't do it, I won't make money. Exactly. It's a job. I just think it's silly that people don't see it as that way. I think it's easier, obviously, than like being a doctor. Look, any job that you can, my boyfriend actually talked about this the other day. Any job you can do in your pajamas is going to be easier than some other jobs, right? That doesn't discredit it as actual work. So yeah, like, I feel that, because for me, I do feel the same. I feel like, I wish, like, in my opinion, I don't like to rely on just streams for my income, but it's kind of basically the thing I got going on right now, unless I get a paid opportunity, which I don't get a lot of those. I just think when you look at it, like, here's this is what I'll say. If you're just somebody, if you're just a person, just go live, that's it. I think that's kind of easy. If you're somebody though who's making content, streaming, garnering the community, always, you know, trying to talk to brands, this, that, the other, there's so many little things that go into it that I like to categorize it more as like a content creation rather than just streaming. That's kind of why I consider myself more of a content creator than a streamer. I feel like streaming is just you go live, right? I feel like with content creation, you're doing so much. I do feel like though, saying it's not a real job is silly because it's just like, that's dumb. It's a real job. I think that was kind of more of my beef with Hassan's take. And I feel like though for him, it came from a place of being a little jaded, I think. And I see this a lot with the bigger streamers who've been doing it for years and years and years. And I think that is kind of what he came with. I don't know. I think that's what he was coming from. Just, he gets tired after streaming. Because Hassan too, also, to my knowledge, he's talking about the news. He's talking about very heartbreaking things on his stream. And that can be very draining to talk about all the time. I completely get it. So I understood what he meant. I just think it came across as like kind of, the way he phrased it, it kind of, you know, it came a little out of touch. When you get bigger though, you get also a ton of fake sponsor emails. Yes. I got one this morning. So we love your VTuber content. We want oh my God. That's crazy. I get a lot of spam. Honestly, like for me, I get a lot of TikTok shop bullshit. I will not do TikTok shops. I'm not doing it. I see a lot of, like, I got a sink cleaner the other day. I'm like, dude, I got shapewear, which pissed me off actually. And I don't think this was your intention with sending me shapewear, but I was like, as somebody who just got really comfortable with their body, sending me shapewear to promote to my audience is fucking crazy. I'm not doing that. Like, no. Like, please look at my content before you send me some bullshit like that, where my whole fucking message is to be happy with yourself and all that shit. That's fucking crazy to me. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Look at my content. Like, I had one of my favorite emails I've ever gotten was that I could tell that they took the time to look at my content and they were like, hey, like, we saw your goal bingo card for the year, right? Like my year goals bingo card. We love that. We can check off these boxes. Let's talk, right? I was like, yes, I fucking love that. Because you took the time to look at me and look at what I do. And that is important to me. If you're just sending me some bullshit, you're a woman, here's shapewear. What? That's insane to me. It's disrespectful. Because I take the time to look at the people that send me stuff, and I don't take a lot of brand deals or sponsored content. I get a lot of emails. I will be honest. I do get a lot of emails. I don't take any of them. You've guys seen the content that I've done. I've done one with Eclipse, and then Fifine sent me something. That's all I've done so far. Because I don't accept a lot of shit because I just find it like, I don't take things just to take them. I'm sorry. Like I don't. And it's okay if you do that. I'm not trying to like trash anybody that does that. I just can't do it. Like for me and my own, like I only promote things that I know that I like and I believe in. That's just how I'm going to be. But so I know well because I don't do more of my content creation. I go live and stream, hope for the best. I work 50-hour weeks since my normal job makes it so much harder to do that. It's very difficult to balance work, streaming, and content creation. I think something that you may help you, Izzy, is when you're streaming. So here, when you're streaming, go into the mindset of go in the mindset of wanting to create content, right? Make stream markers. I don't know if you have a Steam Deck. Maybe you could also set a hotkey on your keyboard if you don't have one. Stream mark every clip that you want to make, right? Go in, Twitch clip editor, done. Even you could use like, for me, editing clips does not take that long because I use the Twitch clip editor to make a vertical format. CapCut, automatic captions, fix the captions, done. You really don't have to do too much, for sure. But I completely understand. Content creation takes so much time. I edited all day yesterday, all day. And I like it, but it was like tiring. I was like staring at a screen all day. So I completely understand. It's very difficult to do this like when you're working. It is. That's why I stopped working, and when I'm done with school, I'll work unless I can make enough money from this. But I will be working when I am done with school because it was like school, work, and this was exhausting to me. It's exhausting. Because it takes so much effort to do everything you do outside of being live, like editing videos, be online at network. Exactly. Networking too is a big thing. I think it gets neglected as well. Networking is huge. Like, just even being active online, just responding, liking things, it helps a ton. Bad market research, yes. This week's stream advice is to wear a shaper. Yeah, it makes sense. I was like, what the fuck, dude? It actually pissed me off, and I knew it wasn't their intention. I was just like, I like literally, it was like, I just got really comfortable. I've been very like bloated this past week, and with my endometriosis, it makes me very bloated as well. I've got the endo tummy, and it was something I just kind of started accepting, and it was like, here's shapewear. I'm like, no, it pissed me off. So yeah, it's not because brands realize the importance of influencers don't give a fuck to learn about what influencers work best with. I know. You know, that's kind of something I've been looking into actually. Instead of my social media management stuff I've been talking about wanting to do, I kind of want to get into influencer marketing because I understand it from the influencer side now. Not that I'm not an influencer. I don't like that word, but I'm a content creator. I understand that side of the part of being the person receiving the deal. I would love to be on the influencer marketing like team and like be involved in that. It's very interesting. Has streaming ever affected your personal relationships? No pressure to answer this. It has. It has affected my personal relationships. Do I want to get into this? I don't want to get too into it. It has affected I know it's affected my dating life. It has affected some friendships. It has. Yeah, it has. And it's mainly because those people didn't respect it. And that's just something I was like, okay, I can't have you around then. And I want to do a streamer chat about this, about dating as a streamer, because I don't feel like a lot of people talk about this. And now as somebody in a very healthy relationship, I feel like I really want to talk about it because it's dating as a streamer is fucking crazy. I basically went into my dates, because basically, so at the start of my streaming, I was in a relationship, broke up. Then I was dating actively. And that was something that was so insane to navigate. Because they basically be like, what do you do for work? I'm like, well, I'm a streamer. And they were like, you know, they would get into it with me and like, be like, well, they would try to tell me things that I already knew. And it was very like, it was just icky. A lot of people didn't respect it. And I had to be like, hey, like, I went into my relationship with my boyfriend like this. I said, hey, this was on streaming at night. I was like, look, really like you. I have to tell you though, I can't be available these nights. That's just how it is. This is my work. I feel very passionate about it. I need somebody who can understand that this is my job and this is something that's super important to me. And a lot of people, shockingly, were not really rocking with that. It's just something that it was that. I don't know what it was. I don't know why people were like that. It was what it was. And it's just, it's weird. It's weird that people are so weird about it. And it has affected my personal relationships. It has. But I feel like now I'm in a place where it's like it's such a big part of my life that it's not affecting it as much anymore. But I know there's times where it's like I can't do something. Like the thing is too, it's like I stream during the day now, so it doesn't affect it as much as before. But it would be like I would go get invited to go out. I can't. I have to stream. Like it's things like that, you know. And then people that don't respect it. And again, I have now surrounded myself with people that truly do respect it. And it's easier to do in my case because it's my family supports me. I've now got a really supportive partner. I've got, you know what I mean? Like I've got people now around me that really do support me. So yeah, it has. Do you mind if I ask what your master's is in and what you studied before? I do not mind. I'm getting my master's in digital marketing and I got my undergrad in communications. So that is my background. I've been with my partner for almost 5 years. He's relatively supportive, also selfish, and wants to spend as much time possible with me, especially work so much as it is. So this is what something that I have done really well in my relationship, I feel like, is my boyfriend and I like to do things together but separately, if that makes sense. So like my boyfriend's got he's got a ton of hobbies. He's super into a lot of things. So like let's say he's really into magic. So he's building his magic decks, whatever. He was building a Lego set like last Saturday I was over. I was like, hey, like I really like need to edit. I have this really urge. And he understands my brain. So he's like, okay, like you edit, I'm gonna work on this. I just like to look over and see that you're there. And I'm like, that's really sweet, because I have an issue of feeling guilty that if I need to work while he's over. And so I think something that we've just communicated is just like, hey, it's like I need to do this. I love you, but I need to do this right now. I just need you here though. Like I just need you in the space, right? And that's just something that's super important to me. But yeah, that's what I really feel like that has been good, is communicating. I really need to do this. Set the precedent. I've set the precedent since the start of him and I dating. Like I said, I have to sometimes work on things. And yeah, so that's kind of how I've taken it. It's just communicating like, look, I'm so sorry, but I really need to do this. I just want you here with me. And it's up to them to accept that, and I'm glad that my boyfriend does. You talk more about parasocial relationships. I feel like I'm having a time separating myself from my viewers. They feel welcome, and I feel like they would rather spend their time watching me versus other people. But I don't know where to set boundaries. Okay, so parasocial relationships for me, the way that I have combated this, because I had an issue with this in the beginning. I basically, I didn't want to call anybody out. I made a message on my Discord. I made a video on this. I sent a message on my Discord like, hey, really appreciate all the love everybody's been giving me, and I need, because it was for me, it was like jokes that were kind of upsetting me, people feeling that they can joke a certain way with me, and I was like, look, I really appreciate it, but I need, for my mental health and my sanity, I don't want to allow these kind of things anymore. Please don't DM me if you see me awake at a certain hour, blah blah blah. I don't respond to DMs anymore because of it. I'm sorry if that has hurt anybody's feelings. I do not respond to DMs that just say hi. Sometimes I don't really respond to DMs that ask a question. It's just, sorry. I don't mean to make myself unavailable. I've just had things that have happened that I have to have it that way. Because then it's, okay, I answer a question, now you're asking me this and all these things about my life, and I feel uncomfortable because I don't know you. And it's not that I can't make friends. I make friends differently now in this space because of it. So it's just, hey, I like sending a message like, these are my boundaries. Please respect them. You know, don't apologize for setting boundaries. It's okay to do this. I just don't respond to DMs anymore, and that's the best way I've combated it, honestly, because most of the parasocialness that I had was because of DMs. So my Discord messages are requests only. I don't usually respond to them unless it's business. My business email is for business only. I've had people message me on there. It's business only. Instagram, I really don't respond to DMs. TikTok, I don't respond to DMs. Again, business only. Sometimes if it's a question, if it's an easy question to answer, I'll just answer it really quickly. But yeah, no, I just can't. I'm sorry, like, it's harsh, but I've had people, you know, want to date me because it's like I said hello. So I just can't, I don't do it that way. Maybe it's harsh. I don't know. People also don't realize streamers have lives outside of streaming. Yeah, they don't. That's, again, something that I've just closed myself off to DMs. And it's harsh, maybe people think I'm a little dramatic, but that's just how I've protected myself. And I feel like I still am able to respond to people and get to know new people and make even new friends. So I feel like, you know, there's other ways to do that other than just DMing me hi. Queen, you might have touched on this before, but how are you finding the work-study life balance with your master's degree? So honestly, quitting my job helped me immensely, which I know is not a luxury for everybody. I'm very fortunate that I am able to do that. I have a family that supports me. But when I was working, it was difficult. Right now, it's been very nice because this is basically my work. So I work throughout the day. My classes are at night. I get my work done at night, my homework and stuff at night or on the weekend. I think if I was working right now, I would have set times better because I had Wednesdays off. So Wednesdays would have been a filming day. That's a filming day. And then film for the 2 weeks and I can edit like on a weekend or whatever. And that's just something I have to do, right? Not streaming till 12 a.m. and filming till 2 a.m. is a major thing I really wish that I didn't do back in the day because I was exhausted. It was so tiring. So I think just learning better time management, like if you do have some time off, that's your filming time, or your streaming time, whatever. Don't stream as late. It's okay to stream for 3 hours to 2 hours. It's okay. Like you don't have to stream for 6 hours. Because it's like for me, like let's say I got home at 6, right? 6, eat dinner, chill for a second, go on to stream at 8, 9, 10, 11, right? I go to bed around 11:30, whatever. Done. I wish I had better time management skills when I was working, but I'm finding it a lot easier now than I was before. I took the time I was out of work to do more content creations, but depression and being jobless took a toll on me. And that's understandable. Look, life and you as a person comes first before any of this stuff. I'm gonna be for real, because if you are not feeling good and you're not feeling your best self, your content's not gonna be good. And that's gonna make you spiral even more. That is, you come first. I will always say that. And I don't care if everybody disagrees with me, whatever. You come first. You come first. Sitting here, speaking of work has been draining me lately to stream and it feels awful. I know. It's hard to feel that way. I understand. It's tough. And you don't want to force yourself because it's gonna make you resent streaming, right? Maybe trying to develop some habits of helping you relax and things that you can do after work that helps you get ready again. You know what I mean? Maybe like, I know for me, having things I was really excited to stream about really helped me getting out of, oh my God, I'm so tired from work, right? That kind of helped me. But maybe just trying to find ways that you can relax and really helps you feel re-energized. That may help. Also, changing a schedule change may help. You find there's a way to naturally bring up your talking points. Sometimes I feel like I'm rhyming off my points rather than making a conversation piece, if that makes sense. So something I feel like, because I do exactly understand what you mean. For talking points, I feel like it's easier to throw them in the beginning because I can be like, let's say I have a break. So the good thing is too, I take breaks between my streams. So it's like one day, another day, right? I have a little gap. I could talk about what I did that day or did yesterday, the day before. And I can kind of be like, oh my God, good morning, everybody, blah, blah, blah. Like, I hope you guys are doing good. Missed y'all so much. I did like all these things this past day. And I kind of just, for me, like I've gotten to the point now where I can just roll with my brain. Maybe just having a list of things and then like, let's say something reminds you of in the game to talk about it. Like, let's say in Fortnite, right? I'm going to use Fortnite as an example because we were just talking about this. Let's say you see a certain skin. Let's say I see the WandaVision skin. Be like, let's say if you've watched WandaVision, be like, oh my God, I haven't really watched a lot of Marvel movies lately. I don't know, like I haven't really been feeling the MCU as much, but I really did love WandaVision and like Moon Knight and blah, 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 like whatever, like kind of just, if I take something, see something, talk about it. That's just Fortnite as an example. That's kind of why I don't love talking points, because I do feel like sometimes it can come across as just reading. But that's just kind of how my brain, I would work with Fortnite. Like, let's say like, I again, see a skin, just ramble, right? That's all you can do, ramble. And rambling gets easier. I do take everything. If a character says something that reminds me of something, boop, we're going to talk about it. We're talking about it now. So that's kind of how I do it. I just really take the approach of I'm going to yap, I'm going to take everything and I'm going to run with it. That is just how I do it. And if somebody comes in and says something, I'm going to take it and run with it. I will take anything. I don't care if it's like, oh my God, we're talking about this too long. If however long I need to talk about it, I'm going to talk about it. So that's kind of how I feel about it. Yeah, I feel like just taking like things that you see, and if you do have that in your little notes, just apply it. But I don't personally love talking points because it can come across as a little inauthentic if you're not like sure. You know what I mean? Like if it's not coming in a natural place. That's kind of how I feel. But also I feel like too, like just talking about stuff, yeah, I feel scripted. I feel like As I've gotten more into my streaming and my vibe, it's become easier for me to talk. And I feel like people too have this pressure, be like, you have to talk every 2 seconds. You have to talk every 2 seconds. Sorry, I just burped. Ugh, gross. Remember, you also have to react. Like if you're a face cam streamer, reacting with your face also is speaking technically, right? But yeah, that's kind of my beef with scripting. I'm going through a phase of my content life that is, I don't know what I'm supposed to be, a cam streamer, VTuber, cozy or horror. And because of that, I've been stuck in this rut. Finding out what I am will then reflect me as an individual and that person in general. You know, there's people that brand themselves as cozy horror streamers. There's people that do that. You also don't have to stick to such an intense branding. I play any fucking game I want because I like that. I don't want to stick myself in a box because that's just not who I am. I am ever changing. I'm always getting into new things. I'm always developing as a human. Not to say that people are making one type of content don't do that. I have too many things I get into. Content you want to make, just reflect at what you're into at the moment. If you're a VTuber at some days and you're a cam streamer at some days, whatever. Post it, whatever. It will start to focus more on you. Yeah, so I want to get to the topic of today, which is finding your voice as a streamer. So basically, with what I mean by this, it is what your overall content voice is. This is basically your overall tone in your streams. What is your message you want to convey in your content and your streaming and your branding, right? So it's kind of almost like a distinct style and a message, basically is what I mean by that. So my streamer voice and how long it took me to find it, I feel like I just now found it. And I feel like for me, it is like, what am I known for and what do I want to talk about in my content? So I feel like I am known for streaming advice and wigs. That's kind of the visual aspects of my streamer voice. However, in my content, I want to convey the message that you can find your confidence through streaming. This is how I found my confidence and you can too. That is always what I want to convey in my content. And it's something that you could do as a streamer. Let's say I want to garner a comfortable space where my community feels safe and we have fun, blah, blah. It helps me pick out clips. It helps me pick out what games I'm going to play. It helps me pick out all these things. It takes a second to figure out because I think you have to get comfortable with streaming before you can figure out your branding, right? That's how I kind of feel about it. So I feel like in my streams, my streaming vibe is that I'm talkative. So B was somebody that I really liked her approach of saying she's a chat focused streamer. That is how I feel like that is kind of my overall branding. I am a chat focused streamer in my streams. So her whole thing, I feel like, as her streamer voice and her streamer like content and her style is a chat focused, comfortable environment where everybody feels heard. Just having something that helps you figure out what type of content to make and who you are as a brand. This is something that you can put in your media kit as well, typing up a little blurb. It's just who you are, right? I want people to understand that I am trying to show that you can become comfortable and confident by doing this. By doing anything you love. I just use streaming because streaming is the thing I love. Basically, what I did to find this out for myself was that I determined what message I want to convey in my content, like we said. In a simple sentence. I literally just was like, what do I want to talk about? Who am I in one sentence? And I wrote that down. In my experience of streaming, what were the things that stood out to me and what do I want to show other people, right? I want people to see I learned so much from becoming confident with this stuff. And that's what I want to convey. Finding my specific style took me a minute because it was trial and error. I had to learn things as well, but it helps me figure out what am I going to make a video on today? What content do I want to clip? This is something, again, I feel like I've just now figured out. I've been really enjoying the sitting down and filming with my little microphone. The editing style is a certain way. The way I present my ideas is in a certain way. And again, it's just trial and error. You try new things. I like to look at not people because I don't just like, I agree with stealing. I don't agree with stealing content. I like to look at people's confidence and their overall vibes and reflect that in myself. And then it will reflect in my content, if that makes sense. Because I feel like when I say to look at other streamers and other creators, I don't want it to get twisted. That means copying. I want it to be like, there's a creator that I really love and appreciate. I can't remember her name, but she does makeup. She does the little tips. If you've seen her, there's just a way that she is in her videos that I really love. It's very inviting. It's very like personable. She feels real. And that's something that I appreciate. And I want to emulate that in my content. So I look to people to be like, okay, how can I put my personality, I'm not taking her personality. I like my personality. How will I take my personality and how can I convey that in my content? And that's kind of how I did. And again, that comes from getting comfortable with talking on camera. You get comfortable with editing, you get comfortable with filming, you get comfortable with your ideas and yourself, like as a whole. Because you're not going to be able to be yourself if you're not confident in your ideas. You have to try new things though. That's just what it's going to be. You're going to have to try new things. You're going to have to step out of your comfort zone. And I think as streamers, we get stuck in, we just have to post clips. And the clips can be a great way to show off your personality. But gaming clips, I feel like I can't get to know you. And I really want to encourage streamers to branch outside the box with their content and try to make things that show that you're a real person. to put it that like lightly. Things like I've said, I've been really loving seeing people's vlogs. I've been loving stuff like that. And I get to see their personalities and I get to see who they are. The streaming setups, you can, again, another way you can show your personality. If you talk through, you're like, let's say like decorate with me. Talk through your process of why you're decorating. Like I love hearing people's voiceovers. And if I hear them crack little jokes or like they're doing this, like there's so many ways that you can show yourself in your content that I think we get stuck in a mindset of, I have to post clips as a gaming creator. I have to post this. I have to post this. You don't have to post anything you don't like. And for me, again, finding out what is my overall message that I want to convey has helped me so much with picking out content that I want to make. Who am I? Who am I as a creator and who am I as a person? Those are the two things that help me figure this shit out. I also feel like too, for me, is I express my passions a lot. I feel like I try to show what am I reaching? What is my aspiration? What is my goal? So I feel like for me, showing off my overall message of I want to show people that they can achieve anything by finding their confidence through streaming. And I like to verbally talk about all the goals that I have because I want to show you that, like, set these goals, do all these things. And I have these goals. I can set these goals because I found the confidence to do so, right? So that's just like some ways that I feel like I've kind of like been able to figure that shit out. The only way you're going to get better at content and figuring out your entire vibe as a creator, as a streamer, is going to be trying new things. I remember the first time I talked in one of my videos. Ooh, girly pop. It was rough. If you've seen any of my old tips for new streamers from a new streamer when I first did that, it was rough. It was insane. I was not articulating any ideas properly. I didn't even know what I was making the content for. I don't know what I was making content for. I was just like, I want to make content here. You know what I mean? Figuring out what I wanted to talk about and what I really was truly passionate about. And I found out my passion for stream advice and streaming by trying it. That's why I did the whole tips for new streamers for new streamer thing, because I was like, let me try something new. How can I talk about my love for streaming in my content? That's something that's important to me. Try it out. If you don't like it, you're not enjoying the content you make, try something else. That life is too short to stick to content that you don't like. So just make content. Try it out. Don't be afraid to post something. If it flops, whatever, right? Look at it, learn from it. That's all you can do. You can't rush this process though. You cannot rush this. Figuring out yourself takes time. Figuring out your voice as a streamer takes time. And that is just something that you have to accept. I think people really feel like they want to rush this. And you can't rush anything in content. You can't rush anything in your life, period, right? You cannot rush content. You cannot rush figuring yourself out. I'm almost 24 years old, and I feel like I've just now figured out what I want to talk about in my stuff, in my content, in my life. That, seriously, I just now figured that out. And it could have come from a lot of things. It could come from confidence that I've gained. It could come from finally doing something that I'm really passionate about. It could come from life changes. Like I said, I have such amazing people around me in my personal life that have helped me become who I am and have helped me define who I am as a person, which has helped me define my content. Finding a streaming voice and finding your content voice is something that takes time, and you need to figure out who you are as a person and what is something that is super important to you, at least in my experience. What is something that is super important to you that has helped you that you want to show others? How can you best show off yourself and your personality in your content? That's it. It's actually not too hard. It's just, I think it comes more so from kind of being secure in yourself. And look, it takes time. Nobody is an overnight success. Nobody is. I mean, whatever. I guess you could argue Queso, but Queso had to post content, right? But nobody is an overnight success, and nobody is good and confident in a night. I think just writing out your goals. Who am I? Write out, who are you? What are your goals? What do you want to share with the world as a streamer? What do you want to share? That has helped me so much in goal setting. One, just helped me in general is goal setting. It has helped me figure out what the types of content I want to make, like I said. It just really helps me. It helps me to write things down and to strive towards things that I can better myself, my content, my community, and the people around me. What did I need to know back then? What did I need to know now? What do I need to remind myself of? Because for me, with the stream advice, I've been really trying to focus less on here's how you grow on Twitch, because like I'm not fucking doing that. That's stupid. Sorry to anybody that makes that kind of content. I don't mean that in a bad way. I just think it's silly. I want to express that your success as a streamer is not based off numbers. It is based off of things you set for yourself. That is what I want to showcase. But yeah, so the comment that I got was, what do you know? You've achieved nothing. And that was crazy to me. And it stuck out to me, not because it upset me, but it's because it was something that we see all the time. I'm not partnered. What can you tell me? You're not a partnered streamer. Where are you gonna get advice? Huh? What makes you say that I can't give advice because I'm not partnered? Streaming to me has done more than numbers. Streaming to me has made me a better person. It has made me calmer. I mean, look, I know I'm blabbing a mile a minute, but I am a calmer person now. It has made me so happy. And I have met amazing people through it. I just really have done so much. If I did not start streaming, I don't think I'd be dating the person I'm dating right now. I don't think I'd have the friends I have right now. I don't think I would have any of these things if I didn't have streaming. So sure, you can argue, yeah, you don't have to listen to me because I'm not partnered. But who gives a fuck? That's not what, I don't sit here and tell you, this is how you grow, this is how you grow. My content will always be focused on bettering yourself through streaming. It is always where it will be. And so it was kind of like, okay, I see where a lot of people's minds go when they think of success. And I think that's another thing that kind of stuck out to me, is that something I want to talk about. Like I said, using my personal experiences to figure out what to talk about. That was something big to me. Was like, why does everybody sit here and focus on these numbers so much to determine their success and their worth as a person? That's so silly to me. And it's so silly that so many people have that mindset. That is what I want to convey. That is my streamer voice. That is my overall branding and messaging. And that's how I figured it out, is by a shitty little hate comment of someone trying to be a turd stick. I hope I didn't miss anything with this content, chats. I feel like sometimes I kind of just let my brain ramble, and I think when I write these out, I get a little confused. But I really hope this helped, and I hope that I was able to convey what I wanted to talk about in an effective way. And if it helped you, great. And if there's anything else, it'd be great. But I really do feel like, to wrap it all up, takes time, explore new types of content, figuring out who you are, writing it down, what do you want to talk about, and boom, content voice. Yay!